Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. Yesterday, Wafula Chebukati held a closed-door meeting with the National Police Service, DCI Kinoti also being present, after which they issued a press statement assuring Kenyans that going forward, they will be working together. And then, interestingly enough, after the press statement, or rather after the press briefing, William Ruto's Order Party wrote a protest letter to IEBC raising some queries onto the printing of 2 sets of Form 34A. So in this video, I want us to answer one question. Is William Ruto's Order Party, or rather Kenya Kwanza, losing trust in IEBC, or is it a game William Ruto is playing with IEBC to create a perception that they are not together? That's the question I want us to answer here. In case you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. Is William Ruto losing trust in IEBC, or is it a clever game by Ruto and IEBC? That's the question I want us to answer here. The first thing, I'm not refuting the fact that William Ruto might be working with maybe 1 or 2 officials at IEBC. I'm not refuting that fact. But from yesterday's press briefing by IEBC and the government pledging to work together, after which we saw William Ruto writing a protest letter to IEBC, raising queries on the printing of 2 sets of Form 34A, is an indication that William Ruto is running scared. He's not very sure or guaranteed of what Chebukati or IEBC might eventually do come 9th of August. That comes out very, very clearly. So from where I said, William Ruto, that meeting between Wafula Chebukati and the government side, and the mere fact that they confirmed they will be working together, that meeting scared William Ruto. And the result of that, William Ruto now wants things to be done in a transparent manner. Previously, before that meeting, William Ruto had no issue at all IEBC working in some opaqueness or in some form of secrecy, because he believed those opaqueness, those loopholes could just help him or benefit him, or IEBC could use those loopholes to rig on his behalf. The meeting yesterday might have changed William Ruto's belief or other thinking that IEBC can help him maybe rig elections this year. And then secondly, I'm seeing a totally confused William Ruto. And I'm saying totally confused because upon the arrival of the ballot papers, yes, of the presidential ballot papers, William Ruto already knew there were 2 sets. And I'm saying that because William Ruto also had even sent his team to Greece to do the inspection of the printing of those presidential ballot papers. And upon the ballot papers arriving in Kenya, when Raila Odinga and his team were raising the issues, they had no issue. In fact, they were defending IEBC. And even as late as yesterday, very close William Ruto allies were still defending IEBC and castigating Raila's team and Azimio, only for them to turn later in the day, after the press briefing by IEBC and government. That's the only time they made a U-turn, and now they were raising queries on the printing of 2 sets of Form 34A. That proves it to me that William Ruto and his team are totally confused. They don't know actually what to do. They are just reacting as, in fact, their reaction is just based on how the government side reacts. If the government embraces IEBC William Ruto and his team will automatically rebel. If the government raises some queries with IEBC, William Ruto will embrace IEBC so much. That's what I'm seeing here. William Ruto and his team are just a confused lot. Another thing I'm seeing here, William Ruto all along knew he could not win in a free fair election. William Ruto knew that. And all along the issues Raila's team have all along been raising have all been accountability issues. Raila's team wanted IEBC to work and operate in openness. William Ruto and his team were actually castigating Raila Odinga, and is on record saying, wachaneni na IEBC. And in my earlier videos, I did state that maybe 1 week to the election, William Ruto will start accusing IEBC of planning to rig elections. And yesterday, listening to William Ruto speaking in Embu, he was telling the government not to interfere with this year's election. William Ruto has really exposed himself as a wordy double speaker. He talks from two sides of his mouth. I still maintain that in the coming days, William Ruto might now even start claiming that IEBC plans on rigging elections. That's also something I'm seeing, and the writing of the letter just convinces me that William Ruto is heading there. And if you look at the whole thing properly yesterday, I'm now also fully convinced that even if IEBC wanted to rig on behalf of William Ruto, it's a mission that cannot be successful. It's a mission unsuccessful. And William Ruto is just also realizing that. So maybe in the coming days, we might also find William Ruto, the issues Raila had been raising before, the one that William Ruto was actually supporting IEBC, you might find William Ruto in a surprising turn of events again, now just raising the same issues Raila has all along been raising. I'm seeing a William Ruto most likely going to go that route. And then even before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at Wafula Chebukati, I also tend to believe that Wafula Chebukati is maybe just incompetent. And that's also something I've always been maintaining here. Look at Wafula Chebukati in 2017. Wafula Chebukati was making some remarks or rather some claims that were not sitting on well with the government in 2017. To a point, the government also had even figured out a possibility where even a vice chair of IEBC could name a presidential winner, or rather the winner, simply because they had no trust on Wafula Chebukati. I'm seeing Wafula Chebukati of 2017 still the same Wafula Chebukati of 2022. I'm seeing the same Wafula Chebukati. What I'm trying to say again here is that William Ruto and his team might be using Wafula Chebukati's incompetency, or rather incompetency, to create a perception and a notion that Chebukati is on their side. That's also a possibility here. I'm not ruling out the fact that they might be working together. But William Ruto, because propaganda is also a lethal tool in politics, William Ruto might just be creating that perception to encourage his supporters to turn out in large numbers to cast their votes on 9th August this year, and at the same time discourage Azimio supporters not to cast their votes, because they are now seeing, even if we vote, our votes as always will just be stolen. The same time William Ruto supporters saying our votes won't be stolen. So they might actually come out in large numbers to cast their votes. So I'm just seeing maybe a William Ruto cleverly used taking advantage of Chebukati's incompetency to create a perception that they are working together. That's also a possibility. And I'm saying that because William Ruto is known to be very good and smart in using propaganda. He's very good at that. He might just be playing some propaganda politics. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. In case you are watching us for the very first time, but so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. To our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Any other person watching us outside Kenya for the very first time, drop a comment. Let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give this video a like.